Good afternoon, or good evening, or good whatever time it is you are watching this from, everybody. It is finally time for World Champcar once again. The last race was in August. Well, now we are back for round 4 of this season. I'm your commentator, Robert, and alongside me is James. Hello, James.
Hello, Rob. Good to be here for round 4 taking place at Interlagos. Looking forward
Yes.
to it. One of my favourite circuits.
Happy New Year, everybody. I'm hoping you enjoyed your holiday season. Now it's time to get back into the racing. We have come to Brazil for round 4 of the season, the last round in the Americas. We're close to the halfway point. The next race after that at Silverstone will be the halfway point. But without further ado, let's get this qualifying session underway. The weather is going to be a little bit mixed conditions, though we have some information from Yere that this time there is probably a fix for the whole tire situation we had in Road America. So hopefully things will get better this time. That's what's going to happen.
It was only 6 or 7 drivers that set a time in Road America qualifying, and the rest basically didn't bother because it was wet
Yes.
there as well.
Yeah, that was chaotic. A lot of people came into the pits. Hopefully everything should be sorted out now. But are you ready? It's time to get this session started.
We can do a quick recap of Road America as well, which saw domination from Ferrari's Simon Mutka, pole position, fastest lap, and the win by more than a minute, which is very impressive. And
Yes, that's right.
completing the podium were Marcy Lee in the Carlin and James Brickles in the Chip Ganassi.
Yes, indeed. Now then, the session is underway, and we already have a car going out on track. It's Enes Parachki. Of course, he was the first one to DNF last time in that, can I be blunt, shit show of a race where absolutely everything happened.
Yeah, the beginning laps were a bit mental, which resulted in 10 retirements altogether. There was that big 4-car pile-up at the end of Canada Corner, I seem to remember.
Yeah. Either way, Hennis is out on the track and appears to be on the Inter tires.
I mean,
Never mind, my bad, I am stupid. Those are the tires.
very textured set of slick tyres he's got on.
Yes, indeed.
And in the mid-sector at the moment, and you can see the cloudy skies above into Pico de Pato, which means the Duck's Beak.
Yep, indeed. And let's see what's our lap time he is going to do once he starts this lap.
I'm expecting a big rain shower from about 30 minutes onwards, and that's not particularly good news for those coming out later.
Indeed so, it looks like the wheel of the weather taketh and the wheel of the weather giveth. And let's see what's going to happen. They were lucky last time, this time they might not be. David Kupak will be the next car as Parachki brakes hard into turn 1. The Senna S's. It's a medium speed section from which the exit is crucial as you go onto the back straight the Reta Oposta, where plenty of good overtakes have happened through the years. As now Parachki in towards turn 4 go, the Interlagos, braking late, 17.9 in the first sector. I think we're going to do these lap recaps quite a lot of times today, so let's not be over detailed on one single lap. We'll have plenty of time to cover every single corner multiple times over. So let's just keep it chill, as he's had a little bit of an understeer moment, but very minor. I think he might be struggling just a little bit for turn-in, Hennis Parachki, but I don't think it's going to cost him too tremendous amount of time. And if he gets lucky with the weather, the guys after him might be in some trouble, so he could be guaranteed a strong position either way. He is on the dry tire, and he is in one of the faster cars. As he gets a 54.2 in the middle sector, that was the last proper corner executed, and so all that's left is the flat out run to the line. You can go in any car in this world, they can take the last corners of Brazil flat out. And no exception here for the world champ car Ferrari, as Parachki finishes the lap with 1 minute 11.6 for the Macedonian driver.
See how that compared to the rest of the pack. I am keeping a spreadsheet of the sector times to try and compare to the others.
You have a spreadsheet? Oh, interesting. Quite nice. Though, hopefully, you don't need to complicate yourself too much, but you do you, I suppose. either way, it's making things more fun, so I'm not against it or anything. As we have a little bit of we have a few spots of rain on the visor of this virtual camera, as David Kupok will be starting the lap next. The lap itself doesn't need to be covered with too much attention since so many people are out on the track, but James, take us through the lap if you want.
So David Kupok coming through the final kink up the hill to cross the start-finish line underneath the Telefonica bridge, and then hard on the brakes into the Senna S, which is, as you say, a medium-speed left-right complex, one of the best overtaking spots of the season. Next on track will be Yuri Kratochvil, and next in the Curva du Sol goes David Kupok. Let's see how this compares to Perachki, and he's up by nearly 400ths of a second. 17.
This is the shortest sector of the three of them, but even a small margin can be significant. Sector 2 is where the real time is at, though, so we'll have to keep a close eye.
Absolutely, and that's through the Ferradura, nicknamed the Horseshoe, or translates to the Horseshoe, through Laranja and Pinheirino, the little.
Looks like you've done your homework. Nice.
I know the circuit quite well. As I say, it's one of my favourites, and some of the more memorable corner names, including.
I think a lot of people can say the same, honestly. I like Interlagos very, very much as well. As Kupok is 800s down for the middle sector, this last sector could decide everything, especially the engine comparison between the two cars, because this sector is only one proper corner.
David Kupok running Chevrolet engines and Prachki running the Ferrari engines, so interesting to see the top speed difference, but Kupok crosses the line, goes second.
Yes, indeed. Yuri Kratochvil and the McLaren SP BMW is next.
Just on these warm-up laps, so for the moment the rain not affecting things too much.
No, things appear to be good so far. We have to keep an eye on what might happen in 10 or so minutes, though, or maybe 15 minutes.
Next, it's going to be
is the last corner a little bit damp? Or yeah, looks like the weather might be getting worse already, folks. Though it's only one corner for now.
They're looking good for Perachki, depending on how heavy and quickly the rain comes as he begins his flying lap. Robert Ionescu will be next out on track in the teams he's driving for. Andretti, so Kupok's teammate, actually.
Yes. The Andretti guys had a terrible race around America. The weather did not favor them, and the luck was pretty atrocious for them, but this time they might be a little bit more lucky. In this race, as Kratochvil goes purple in the first sector, this could be a pole lap if all things go his way. Or it might not be, we'll have to see. Sector 2, like I said earlier, is where the big time is at. And it seems so far Sector 1 is still mostly dry. Has he had a little moment there, James?
Possibly. I was marking his sector time. It's a 100th off of Kupok, but faster than Perachki so far. And slight wobble perhaps going into Pico de Pato, but we'll find out how good his second sector time as he goes through the dropping left-hander.
I think he had to lift just a little into Mergulho. He's already lost half a second. The track is getting worse.
Yeah, it was in the first sector as well, where there's some damp stuff going on down the Reta Aposta. So, yeah, the track's definitely getting a little bit worse as Kratochvil's lap is unfolding. He'll probably
half a second is pretty big. He's almost a second down. Yeah, this track is getting significantly worse. As Ionescu is out on track in Andretti. I see. Alright. Ionescu will be starting the lap up next, and it seems he will probably go third or fourth. The track is not so great right now.
I believe it was a gearbox or transmission failure that put Robert Ionescu out at Road America in the end.
He got damage. He got damage early on in the race, and then he got a car problem shortly after that, after pitting.
Yes.
Green for sector, but that's not going to mean much. Sector 2 and 3 is where the time is at. It's starting to increase a little more the rain.
A little damp patch at the entry of Ferradura, so Sector 2 starting to get a bit more wet now.
I don't see how he can get onto the front row, honestly.
His target probably is to get ahead of Kratchville, depending on how second and third sectors go. A little damp.
Sector 2 looks a little bit more treacherous, so I'm not sure he can even get third, but I think his objective will be to stay there. Yeah, he's already a second down. He just needs to hope it rains heavily after him so that everyone else goes behind.
Absolutely. So through the final few corners, Subida dos boxes, and then the final kink, which I believe is Arquibancada, which translates boat grandstands, and Ionescu goes fourth on a 13.299.
Yeah, this weather is rapidly worsening as Panos Sekuras will be next to cross the line.
And he's already at Magula, so he's pushed it on this outlap.
Maybe he wasn't. Depends on the timing of the pit release as well. The next car has all. No, never mind, that's Ionescu doing his in lap.
So Sekuras still dry enough to stay on slick so far. We should probably go through the championship standings as well. In the lead is Bernardo de Oliveira on 45 points. The first in Indianapolis, then 2 fifth places at Texas and Road America. And he's 15 points ahead of Marcy Lee, tied with Frederick Soper in second in the championship, but Marcy has a second and a fourth.
Sekuras, meanwhile, is 2 tenths down in the first sector, sorry to interrupt.
That's alright. It was an 18.181, and yeah, Soper has a second, sixth, and an eighth. And then Mutka's win put him up to fourth in the Drivers' Championship.
Asante Mora, meanwhile, is the next car out on track, just for reference. The Ghana driver from Ghana. What is the Ghana name for these guys? Is it Ghanaian?
Ghanaian.
Oh, Ghanaian, alright. Well, he'll be next, but right now he's the Greek driver of Panos Sekuras. And look at the traction, or rather lack thereof. Out of cut of failure there. 2.5 seconds down. I know his car is not so great compared to the Andretti's and Ferraris we've had so far, but even so, this weather is not good at all.
Yeah, and a lot more spray appearing now in certain corners. And final straight looks, I was going to say it looks bone dry, but some damp patches appearing there. And that was a 15.182. Got Panos
He's lost a lot of time in Sector 3. Asante Moro and the Manor is the next car up on track.
And I think it was Asante Moro who instigated that big pile-up after Canada Corner, because he'd ran wide at the... Oh, it was before Canada Corner, and ran wide at the kink, and then was collected by at least 3 other drivers.
I think you might be onto something. I think that's what... I know... I think he was involved in a crash when someone hit his car, I think. He was out of control or something like that. I don't remember too well, honestly, but... Either way, Moro is here and he will do a lap.
I think it was Rafael Dumel, Florian Volker, and Adam Wolf who were involved in that pile-up, and Rafael Dumel's actually next out.
Yes, well, they had a connection then. Let's see what Moro will be able to do. Okay, Sector 1 is not so atrocious, but immediately when you cross over into Sector 2, that's when it's bad, and you can see already a lot of spray. I think he might be one of the last people to use the dry tire.
It's still very patchy, so people might stay out on the slicks for a bit longer, but yeah, there's going to be a point where intermediates will be the preferred tyre.
Well, staying out on the slicks is suicide. I mean, you don't have a chance of getting to the top 5, but at least beat the others who will be after you. That's my opinion.
Using a real-life example, then that 2003 real-life Brazil race.
Moro's 2 seconds off the pace, and Sector 3 is the most atrocious. I think he will be going behind Sekuras. He lost major time in Sector 3 as well.
He's actually half a second up on Panos Sekuras at the moment, so he might get ahead of him.
Is that a fact? Let's see then. Can he get it? Yes, he goes P5. 2.9 seconds off the leader, so. Yes. And then again, it is also a car difference. Sekuras, I believe the Viper is the worst car out there, or one of the worst. As Dumel is onto the racetrack, the Brazilian driver racing at home.
Yeah, the Viper finished last in the championship last, if I'm right in saying. I might be wrong on that, but Manor are ahead in terms of the car listings, if that makes sense.
You're probably right, though. I'm not... Actually, you know what? To hell with it, I am going to check. Just for fun. As he's about to start his lap. Yes, Viper were last. Manor got 1 point last year, whereas Viper got 0.
Viper this year have 9 points and sit 9th in the championship, so it's already a much better season for them, but they're still not the best car in the world.
It's infinitely better, honestly.
About 9 times better.
Nah, because you can't divide by 0.
Fair point. And
it's
this is Rafael
infinitely better.
Dumel.
Yes, indeed, and he's 3 times down the first sector. That's the biggest delta in S1 so far. It's not good for him right now. He will not be going to the top 4, that's for sure, but let's at least see if he can avoid going last.
I think he'll still commit to finishing this lap. There's still some decent dry bits in Sector 2, and I'm not sure if it's when it becomes all spray throughout is when they decide to pit.
Sector 3 is atrocious, but usually, from previous tracks and from memory, we get pit calls after the start of S3. So if we get any, this lap is going to be now. Nothing so far, but 3.3 seconds off the pace.
And about 7/10 off with Panos Sakura, so looking on his way to qualify behind him in this lap.
He just needs to hope the weather gets much worse for the people after him, and he will get himself a top 10 start. But this lap was woeful, and you can't even blame him, the conditions have greatly increased. As Adam Wolf is next car on track in the Pyramid BMW, another one of the front-running cars, and looks like he is set for a P8, or potentially worse, start. Or maybe P7 or P6, if he can beat the others, though the weather not in his favor right now.
The Pyramid were the team's champions last time out, so there's a possibility to get him ahead of Dumel if the lap works out quite well for him.
And Wolf missed out on the title by just 12 points. Though he won the last 2 races, it wasn't enough to overcome Julius Anderson. So Adam Wolf, second in the championship last time, hoping he can get it this time. But right now he's P9 in the championship because of no score in Indianapolis and DNF in Road America. Though I wouldn't blame him for that one because who didn't DNF in Road America? Shimon Mutka for one, but if you had to tell me the list of people who DNF'd, it's probably longer than the list of people who didn't in Road America. That race was chaos.
And Adam Wolf was comfortably the slowest in that first sector by a quarter of a second off of Rafael Dumel.
The Pyramid is one of the fastest cars, and Tsekuras is one of the slowest. Looks like Tsekuras is going to be ahead of him. That's just the impact of this weather is having on this session. 4 seconds off the pace.
Still 7/10 off. Well, it's 7/10 off now off Dumel. Yeah, he's going to be behind him.
Yes, indeed. This
Crossing the line.
The one-shot system giveth and the one-shot system taketh away. As he's 5.5 seconds off.
One-shot system buggereth.
I guess you could say that. Yes. Florian Volker is out on track, 5-time top-class champion, also host, and also... I could have sworn he won a Champcar title, did he not? He didn't. No, never mind.
Nevertheless, he is Der Meister.
My memory is a little bit mixed up, I guess. I know I'm only 25, but am I getting old already?
Well, believe it or
Anyway,
not, I'm 32.
One more year and you will get... hopefully both you and Alonso will get 33 this year. I know you will, but hopefully Alonso as well.
If only I had a tenth of that man's talent. You know how big it is.
As Volker is on his flyer, his first sector is going to be woeful. Yes, it is 7/10 of the pace.
Only the 1/10 off of teammate Wolf.
Yes, indeed. Same car, so it should be the comparison between them will probably only be decided by the weather. I can tell you for a fact it has not gotten better, but has it stayed the same or has it gotten a little worse since the previous lap?
Probably a little bit worse than the water in Sector 2.
The next car has gone out on track meanwhile, but I'm not quite sure who that is.
It's Guillaume Stupp, who's next out.
Oh, alright. As
He's
Volker out of
on-
Mergulio is 4.6 seconds off the pace. I think that's 6/10 down on what Wolf did.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm just memorizing the gap to P1. I don't have a spreadsheet, but both ways to memorize are perfectly fine. So let's just see what's going to happen. Volker is going to go last. Without a doubt, I'm afraid. P9. 6 seconds off the pace. Luckily for him, the others are going to have to deal with the same weather, or even worse.
Curiously, Volker's final sector was fractionally quicker than Adam Wolf's by just a couple of hundredths, but yeah, still 6/10 off in the end. And
The last
Guillaume
sector is
Stupp,
just one cornered off. Maybe Wolf made a mistake. Stop is coming in before the start of his lap. Nice. So with some magic... No, he's bidding. Oh no.
the next runner is going to be on wets.
So
Colin Smith.
Top unfortunately gets some very, very bad luck. He's not going out at all. His session is over. Right?
Yeah, Stop's going to be pretty much down at the back, and I've put down a DNQ on the spreadsheet.
Nah, just put him in last place. I think that'll be fair. You don't know if he'll be the only one.
I'll put zeros instead.
Alright. Let me take a quick look at the chat.
Wet tires.
Ta-da! Nice trick. Colin Smith is the next car out on the track. Good to see you, by the way, in chat, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this massive session. Let's see what the race will be like. You can put a gun to my head, and I will tell you with 100% certainty this will be the top 4 for the grid. But please don't put a gun to my head.
You can put it to mine instead.
Nah, I don't want that either.
Well, no pit indicator for Smith, so it looks as if the tyre tricks worked so far.
Let me just say it like this. If I had $1 million and bet it all that this would be the top 4 for the grid, I would return with my $1 million back and 1 extra penny. I would make a profit, eh?
Yeah, profit's a profit.
I don't gamble, so sorry. Anyway, Smith will be down by a lot in the first sector, as expected, 1.6 seconds off. No need to even compare, that's the worst. We'll just compare the others in their sector 1s and 2s and 3s after Smith, but right now, it's in the territory of the gods.
Oh, that's a bit
He's
wide.
made an error. And he's gone onto the curb, losing himself even more time.
Will he still be ahead of Stop?
Hard not to be.
Yeah, probably not worth comparing the sector times against the slick tide runners, but Just the back half of the grid battle might be a bit more interesting.
It's still relevant. He is the benchmark for everyone else after him. 8 seconds off the pace, though. Do keep in mind, he had a little bit of a colossal mistake in the meantime. Yes, just a little bit of a colossal mistake. Nice saying, Robert. Anyway, Smith will finish his lap, and he is not the first Canadian to go at the back, but he is emulating the Lord Gotifi, and unfortunately is 9.6 seconds off the pace. Patrick Ferreira is the next car out on track in the Marishang Honda, the pink car. What's he going to be able to do on this flying lap? I reckon he will definitely get into the top 11. But I can't say much more. If he just keeps it on the road, if he keeps the car pointed straight, he has a very, very good chance to get himself P10. But anything more than that, maybe if we see a blue moon, but otherwise it's not going to happen.
Mentioning that Smith and Ferreira were the only two that finished outside of the points. They were 11th and 12th in that race. Everyone behind retired, and then
More people finished than didn't. Either way, chaotic race.
Only just 12-10 split.
Yeah, as Ferreira in the first sector, 1.6 seconds down, the same as Smith. So as long as he doesn't bottle it up, he will beat him. Just like he did in North America.
Only 8 thousandths off of Smith, so it's comparable.
Maybe the weather is mostly staying the same. He's taking a very slow, cautious line, but keeps it between the wide lines, avoids the curb. Doesn't have any weird moments with the car. That alone has already given him a second upon Smith at least. Maybe a little more.
So. Yeah, we'll see how this one compares, and still raining a little bit, but it does look as if it's stabilised a bit.
Yep, as in towards south, almost 8 seconds off the pace. Yeah, definitely ahead of Smith is going to be.
Only by 2/10, so I was expecting a bit more than that.
So the weather has in fact gotten worse. It's only sector 1 that was a decoy. Either way, Ferreira, can he get in front of Smith at the very least? Yes. But by less than I was expecting, as Jamil Gray, a friend of mine actually, is the next car out on track.
He led at Indianapolis for a lap, didn't he?
Well, he's a GOAT, that's why. Yeah, he did pretty well there. And he even got himself a point in Road America.
I was going to say, he's a monster. Second of the two Vipers, about to exit Junsao and about to start his flying lap.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what the American driver will be able to do. Go on, Jamil.
And he got a point last time out at Road America as well, so that's a good little fillip for him.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. As he started his lap, Dorian Milewski will be the next car out on track. Jamil Gray, I expect him to be 1.6 or more seconds down on the leader after the first sector. Looks to me like turns 1, 2, and 3 are the driest sections on the track. And looking at the amount of spray coming from the back of the cars, that says more than it doesn't say. Never mind, that says a lot actually. 1.7 seconds down. He might have a chance to not be last at the moment. But it appears to me the track is still getting worse, though his car is not exactly the greatest either.
And the target to get ahead of Colin Smith, his North American friend.
Looking very tentative into Laranja. Down the hill for the left-hander and then back up the hill again into Pico de Pato. And this is Cotovello up next, where Hamilton and Albon had some interesting moments. Actually, only one interesting moment, but Jamil Gray in towards Mergulho, having to be very tentative. 7.8 seconds off the pace. I think that's similar to what Ferreira was doing.
He's a 10th up on Ferreira, so he's got a chance at being ahead of the Brazilian.
He could get himself into the top 10 here. Let's keep an eye out. Let's see. He's gonna do it. Go on. He's gone 11th.
Ooh. That's close.
Very close, only 12 milliseconds. As Dorian Milewski and the Carlins next out on track, you can see his nice, beautiful, totally not edited in wet tires. Great job on the editing. Yes, indeed, they're legendary.
Change tyres by drones rather than mechanics.
One day AI will change tires, and it'll be the end for F1 as a business.
And Milewski, three poles on the grid, alongside Soper and Mutka.
Indeed. Meanwhile, he's taken a very cautious line to turn 1. I don't think this lap has a lot of potential in it, but let's see. 2 seconds off the pace. Yeah, his sector 1 was terrible, the worst one so far. Out of any driver. We'll just have to see if he can stay ahead of Smith. Though I am doubtful.
And that first sector was about 4.5 tenths off of Jamil Gray, so he's gonna have to. He's got his work cut out if he's going to out-qualify Jamil.
Let me be blunt, I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening either, but I'm sure Milewski will give it a good go.
Yes, indeed. Extremely slow exit from the Cotopaxi. I get used to confused sometimes. I think that's Cotopaxi anyway. Cautious into Mergulho, 8.3 seconds off the pace. That's definitely slower than what Gray did. And I think it's the same level as to what Smith did before the last sector. So Milewski is going to go last, or is he going not to go last? Who will be the unlucky 13th for the moment?
Probably Milewski, who was nearly 3 tenths off of Smith. And crossing the line, yep.
10 seconds off the pace is Milewski. He did not have a good lap at all. These conditions aside. It was error. It had a little error even in turn 1. As I'm an Alphadale is the next car out on the track. He'll be starting his lap soon in the second Meyer Shank.
Yep, the Sudanese driver, and who finished 8th last time out. That's his first points of the season.
The first points ever, I think, also.
Yes, he's
It is a rookie, yes.
very much
Just like Fernando Alonso. Sorry, I had to do it just this once. I promise I will not make this joke for at least until the next race, at least.
That first sector's getting much, much worse. That was a 20.7. That's 6 tenths off of Milewski, who was the slowest.
2.7 seconds off the pace. It might be over for everyone, pretty much. And unfortunately for Stop, he lost out majorly.
I wonder if it's going to get so wet that they're going to need the more heavily treaded tyres.
It might be the case soon.
Right.
I see, I got it. So you can't tell them apart. The wet tires looking the same. As Alphadale, 11.9 seconds off the... He's just lost 3 seconds compared to the previous lap at the middle sector. It might not look at it on the graphics, but the weather is heavily worse.
Yeah, I think the really heavy rain that was forecast has arrived, and it's definitely going to affect the remaining new runners. But Alphadale commits to this lap on a
14 seconds off the pace. What was the field spread in Road America qualifying? Probably not so big because so many people came into the pits. It's a lot bigger now.
I think the only times that were set in Road America were on slicks, so that would be... It was about 7 seconds slower, the spread.
I wonder what about Indianapolis? Absolutely right, and Ricky Farkason is the next guy out in his Penske. Let's see what he'll be able to accomplish. Probably nothing, unfortunately. If can at least get Alphadale, that will be good for him. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, he was involved in a first lap incident and had to replace a front wing, but he fought back brilliantly to finish 7th, so that's a good drive from Rifke.
Yes, absolutely. Meanwhile, Friedrich Sopa will be the next car out on track. As Fakhruzain's first sector, he's 3.7 seconds off the pace. I've lost track. I don't even know if it's faster than Alphadil or not, but I've lost track completely.
That's a whole second slower than Alphadil.
Holy shit.
Similar words from me, yes. As times are only going to
Getting
get
Brazil 2024 F1 weather in here right now, chat. That's the only way to describe it. A downpour so heavy, not even the game can model it properly.
I remember some old races that had heavy downpours, and Malaysia 2009 was a massive downpour mid-race.
We saw the slide there mid-corner, Mergulio, 13.6 seconds off the pace. He's got heavy understeer. That car is oversteering and understeering at the same time. No, I'm just kidding, not at the same time. But he's really struggling for grip here.
It's the point where it's understeering and oversteering. It's basically crabbing.
James Allison would be proud as he goes 16.7 seconds off the pace as teammate Friedrich Sopa is next car out on track, and I have to take a very short break. I will be right back in a few minutes.
You can see he was crawling through Ferradura as the drone mechanics put on his wet tyres. Still crawling on this sodden circuit, but see what sort of lap time he can do anyway. He'll probably want to be staying out on circuits to outqualify Guillaume Stope. And exiting the Junsao corner goes Frederick Soper on the long climb up to start-finish line. And he's going to commit to setting this flying lap. Hopefully for him the track conditions will improve so that he can do at least something to challenge Alphadil and Fakhruzain. But the track getting wetter all the time, it seems unlikely, but let's see. Through the Senna S and slow speed of 69 kilometers an hour through the first and second apex, and is struggling to turn and get the power on. This is going to be a lap of survival. First sector was a second slower than Fakhruzain, so yeah, Sopa's he's looking at qualifying behind both Alphadil and the Fakhruzain, but through Laranja translates to the orange curve and crawling through there, 59 kilometers an hour. Yeah, very slow at the moment. So yeah. He'll be ahead. Oh, understeering through Bico de Pato. This car's not enjoying these conditions at all. You know, second sector, only the 7.3 seconds off of Rifki Fakhruzain. Subida dos boxes and Arquibancada, soaking the fans on the right hand side, and Sopa does a 1:36.555, so only the 8.2 seconds off of Fakhruzain, as championship leader Bernardo de Oliveira is out on circuit in the Peugeot. Even on his outlap, just understeering through Bico de Pato.
I am back. Can you hear me? Alright. Did he make some errors on his lap, or was he just naturally that slow?
It looked a handful.
Did he go off the track? Okay. Wow, this weather is god-awful.
That's bad news for De Oliveira, and I believe you have a nickname for Bernardo de Oliveira.
Yes, Bob Dole, after the former US presidential candidate.
There we go.
Just because of the
Oh,
abbreviation of his name, for no other reason at all. Maybe it's a little bit silly.
I like it.
Yes, thank you. Anyway, de Oliveira, how far down will he be? 4.7 seconds in the first sector. For reference, how far down was
Marginally.
Sopa? Because I didn't see.
It's marginally faster than Friedrich Soper. Only 200ths.
I see. Then again, Sector 1 is not the best place to show the change in weather. There will be Sectors 2 and 3, especially Sector 2. That engine is grunting hard just to get up the hill. It's got so little grip. We got Turkey 2020 levels of grip here.
Mate, it's like ice.
Yes, indeed. Except usually ice is faster than this.
Yeah, you need studded tyres for this weather now.
Yes, indeed. Never mind that, just get rid of the tires and touch hovercraft because he's 20 seconds off the pace in the middle sector. How far down is that? On Soppa.
It's actually 3/10 quicker than Soper on this lap, so
He gets in close competition even in these atrocious conditions.
We'll see how the final sector goes for him. It could be quicker than Soper, and it is by 0.4 of a second in the end.
He's not last, so that'll be a great result for him. But unfortunately, he's got bad luck with the weather today. DJ Papiro is the next car, and he's struggling for grip heavily already.
Get a bit better now, I think.
I see. One day we will no longer need pit stops at all. It'll just be God changing tires for everybody while staying on track.
Need the mobile refueler next to sort their fuel tanks out. Papiro starting his flying lap as he goes underneath the Santander.
If you want
bridge.
more fuel in your tank, that'll be 19.99 from Lidl.
19.99, is that per? That's per gallon, and that's very expensive.
No, per milliliter.
I'm just trying to work the maths on that. So Papiro does a 22 point.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. It'll break your hand. It will break. It's mind blowing.
And that's marginally quicker than Oliveira in the first sector. So I think the conditions have.
Let me just say, if this
stabilised now.
fuel rule I just made up would be real in F1, Williams would go out of business.
They'd go out of business after first practice.
Well, the mechanics will be happy until the team goes away. But don't worry, because they got Duracell.
Yeah, they've got some hybrid power remaining.
Yes.
They might have to switch from Duracell to Aldi home brand batteries.
No, they're just going to ask the FIA to provide some spare batteries from them. He's 21 seconds off the pace and he's had a big slide at last corner. Thankfully, he's kept it on track. But this weather is absolutely atrocious, and I'm sure TJ Papiro is going to go last, unfortunately for him.
Well, he's slightly slower than Frederick Soper, so if the final sector doesn't go to plan, then yes, he will be last. But
Well, he had a huge slide at the start of that last sector, so here we have it. 25 seconds off the pace. Oh my god.
He is last.
Now we have James Brickles here starting his lap, my favorite Rich Energy driver.
Yeah, get that caffeine buzz for this very wet lap. Hopefully that'll do the trick.
I mean, I only know 2 other Rich Energy drivers, so what can I say? You are my favorite compared to them. Compared to Grosjean and Terrorixen.
Brickles in the other Chip Ganassi teammate Rafael Dumel up in 7th. The track was a lot drier back then.
I think James would be saying right now something to the tune of, "It's the worst conditions I ever drove a car." Sorry, I can't do the Spanish accent.
I'll try and translate that into a Yorkshire accent. These conditions are crap, mate. Oh dear. I'll not do that again.
Okie dokie then. Either way, let's see what the first sector is going to be like for James Brickles as he crosses the sector split. 5 seconds out of pace. Mars to give him the next start in the next start on track in the meantime.
Yeah, he's definitely going to blame the conditions for that.
I mean, yeah, it feels to me like there's no limit as to how bad the weather can get in this session, which is saying quite a lot.
He might not need tyres for the next couple of drives, they need alls.
Now I understand why GameStop came into the pits. He didn't want to drive in these conditions, and I wouldn't blame him. Unfortunately, it didn't go to his benefit, but I totally get it.
He wanted to keep his race suit nice and dry for the race.
Yes, those drops of water, they add some extra weight. I'm not a physicist, I don't know how much weight they would add, but they would add some extra weight to the car, and he wants to sort it out. Brickles is 21.6 seconds off the pace in the middle sector. But he doesn't slide in the last corner, he might have a chance to get in front of Bapiro, I don't know. Probably not.
He's 7/10 off of Bapiro, so he'll do well to out-qualify TJ.
Well, Bapiro had a massive slide in the last corner. So let's see, can Brickles get in front of Bapiro? No, but that was much closer than we expected.
Yeah, just a 2/10 off. So Nasty Lee got the podium last time out at Road America and good charge in the final few laps. Took that second place in the closing stages.
Yes, indeed, but now she's struggling heavily for grip, as did a whole lot of people in this session. Let's see what she'll be able to accomplish in this quali.
Trying the go-karting technique of just like turning the wheel and then waiting for the front tyres to bite.
Hey, I know an even better technique. Ray.
Swimming.
Do you know... Hey James, do you know that Alpine is so wonderful in this conditions? Because they're a tractor, of course. Anyway, Lee has started her lap, and there's almost nothing to comment on this lap. You know it's going to be terrible because of the terrible weather we've got. But so little grip for the Senaeses into the Curva do Sol. There is absolutely no sol at all. No, it's completely sunless. As she goes down the Reta Oposta, what will her first sector split be like? It will not be happy. 5.1 seconds off the pace.
Slowest first sector so far.
How far down is that from Brickles? I don't remember.
Just over a 10th.
Alright. Well, Brickles kept it clean, so let's see if Lee has enough pace in her wagon to overcome that.
Ending okay at Ferradura, and switching a little
She's
bit.
gone onto the curb there. That could have been very, very costly. That's cost her some time, though.
Targets to get ahead of Bapiro.
I have a feeling we're going to get into negative grip soon enough.
Yeah, basically just turn right and it actually goes left.
Yes, sort of like that. Anyway, Lee struggling to go from Mergulio even off throttle, 22.1 seconds down in the middle sector.
Yeah, that little moment at Ferradura cost about 0.3 of a second, I'd say.
She's struggling to go full throttle on the straight. That's how bad these conditions are. And she's going to go last, most likely. Yes, 26 seconds off the pace. And the last car out on the track is last time's race winner Szymon Mutka in the Ferrari. It looks like Ferrari will be P1 and P21. But yeah, in this championship, one race you can win, and the next race you can start on the back row. That's just how insane it is. And let's see where Mutka is going to end up.
Mutka absolutely dominated Road America last time out. It was over a minute, the winning margin in the end. And
heavyweight races tend to turn out like that sometimes. But all credit to him.
All credit to him, and starting the final flying lap of the session.
Yes, indeed.
A minimum speed of about 70 kilometers an hour through the centre.
Oh, he's down on the curve. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. His traction has been affected quite heavily from that. Let's see what his first sector split will be like. 4.3. It is the car.
Decent.
It is the difference in car performance, of course, compared to Lee and to a few other people. That Ferrari is a front-running car, but I don't expect him to get. No, 16th is the absolute maximum he can do, and I don't even think he can get 16th.
It's possible. I think he was 4/10 quicker than De Oliveira.
Yeah. But we'll have to keep an eye on the rest of the lap.
Doing the doggy paddle through Pinerino. Switching to the front crawl into Bico de Pato. Lots of understeer there.
Guillaume Stop had a pole in Indianapolis and now he's in last, unfortunately. But Simon Mutka, what's he going to do in the middle sector? 19 seconds out of pace. Either the track has improved or it's just showing the pace of the Ferrari.
Probably a bit of both, I think, but yeah, that will comfortably get him ahead of De Oliveira.
It's going to be 20 plus seconds off the pace, but it will be a legendary lap. 16th.
That's a save.
And that is the end of the session. Definitely absolutely chaotic, what can I even say? The top five are in the order in which they went out on track, but here we have it. We're actually going to read that when we get to the grid because it's better that way. We're just gonna scroll through this real quick, I guess. Alright, well, confirmation from here and there that we can still talk to you guys, to the chat. So, how did you enjoy this session? It was, how do I say it in the most British term possible? Crikey, that was bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about right, I
Blimey.
think. I'd
My
like to hear
goodness
some
me.
predictions in the chat from people watching this. Let's see who
I
you
haven't
think's
seen a
going to win.
qualifying session that crazy since one race ago.
In the maddest since last race.
Yes. I'm going to give you my totally unbiased prediction. I'm gonna
Ahead,
win.
yeah. And for Robert Ionescu to win, he's starting P4, so that's definitely possible.
I'm just going to be. I'm going full out bias. Hopefully,
bias.
but we'll see what happens.
Somehow I don't hold the same hope for James Brickle starting 20th.
Well, we'll have
Just
to see
looking
what
at the-
happens. We don't know what the weather is going to be like for this race. But anything can happen in Grand Prix racing, and it usually does, as the great late Murray Walker once said. Actually, I think he said more than once.
Quite a few times, yeah. We miss you, Murray.
Nice.
In terms of my personal prediction, I think I am going to go Ennis Perachki because I think the Ferrari is quite a good car this season.
I'm going to change my prediction so I don't jinx myself. My prediction is, I don't know.
My prediction is there's going to be a race.
Yes, it will be one of the races of all time.
Oh no, it's snowing. We might have to wait.
Uh-oh. Wait, for real or?
No, not for real.
He got us. It was a joke. He already said the race was cancelled because of snowing outside. Just a joke. Just a joke. 5 seconds. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. I think this race should be quite fun whether it's dry or wet. The racing is quite interesting either way, especially at this track.
Yeah, definitely. The two main
Mhm.
places to overtake into Ceneris and Interlagos.
Yep, indeed. And in the wet, there can be plenty of errors.
Mm. One who can pull off the Giancarlo Fisichella in today's race if
Mm.
it is wet. That was the first race I ever watched live.
That's very nice. Well, do you mean the entire Giancarlo physical experience?
I think it was Kimi Raikkonen that was responsible for me becoming a full-time F1 fan. I was always aware of F1 because of old PlayStation games, but
I don't think you're the only one in this call. But yeah, are we going to get a winner in this race, and then a few days later the win gets taken away from him and given to the Italian dude?
depends how many penalties are given out.
And and they have to give the trophy uh, at the next race. That'd be interesting.
Just at Woodcut at Silverstone will be the trophy exchange.
Yes, indeed. It'll be quite special, quite something. Mm. The race will be soon, so don't worry, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. So then, it's time for 50 racing laps of plenty of action here. And now, It is time for the grid for this race. 4th round of the season, and if it's dry or wet, I don't know, but it's sure to be a fun one either way. And Parachki is on pole, David Kipak in 2nd. It is here Kratoshvili in 3rd and Robert Ionescu in 4th.
Got Asante Moro 5th ahead of Panos Sakouras, and then Rafael Dumel in the Chip Ganassi 7th ahead of Adam Wolf in the Pyramid.
Yes, that's right, and it is the other pyramid of Florian Volker, followed by Patrick Ferreira and Jamil Gray, and then it's Colin Smith in P12.
Row 7's filled by Dorian Milewski and Alfadil in the Maya Shank, and then Rifki Fakhrizadeh and Simon Mutka on row 8.
Yep, that's right, and after that, it is Bernardo de Oliveira in P17, followed by Friedrich Sopa P18, and it's TJ Bapiro P19 and James Brickles P20, and on the back row of the grid,
Marcia Lee in the Carlin and Guillaume Stopp in the Peugeot, who didn't set a time.
Unfortunately, yes. But now it is time for the race. 50 laps of racing action. We expect 2 mandatory pit stops. And let's see what the weather is going to be like. Dry. Perfectly dry.
Dry.
Yes, indeed. Well, lads and lasses, it is race time. Let's get this show on the road. Who's going to win this one? We're looking at quite exciting race, and here we go. Parachki is on pole. Can Kipak or anyone else snatch the lead into turn 1? Pole position is on the outside, so if Kipak gets a good launch, you might have a shot. It's not the longest of runs, so if you get your nose in front early, you might be keeping it. Let's see. The first race of 2025 is now on their way. Here we go. It's an alright launch so far, but I think Kipak's start might be just a little bit better. He's got the inside into turn 1, and he's tried to take the lead, but he's failed. Meanwhile, Ionescu, his teammate, has gone up into 3rd place. He's taken that place at the start. Sopa has made a position, I think, there. He's up into 18th, but Piro's lost a place. In the meantime, looks like Kipak is going for it again. Ionescu is trying to go around the outside. This could be a free wide moment. Ionescu overtakes his teammate around the outside. What a move. Kipak was boxed in there. He had to back out. As a result, Ionescu has moved up into 2nd place.
Great start for Ionescu, and taking 2nd and started 4th on the grid, taking advantage of the minor shenanigans down the back straight.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, Jamil Gray is down to P12 in front of Bernardo de Oliveira. Frederick Sopa is in P19. James Brickles down to last in the meantime. As Parachki, it looks like he might be pulling away just a little bit at the moment.
There's a little bit of a gap between himself and Ionescu. You can see Kipak in 3rd. Staying with Ionescu, but not
Yep,
sure
it's 6 tenths of a second. I think Kipak might be having a move on his teammate soon enough.
I think Rafael Dumel was shaping up for a move on Adam Wolf, if that shot looked correct.
Parachki says the early fastest lap. Ionescu takes it though.
Keep an eye on the left. Nope, there's no Dumel, so Adam Wolf holding on to 7th for now as he chases Asante. That's not Asante Moro, that's another driver in front
Meanwhile,
of
Volker is still overtaking Ferreira, seen by the cameras, but we're going to be looking at Wolf. He's going down the inside, but Sakouras covers the door. That happens quite often here at turn 4. And if the other guy covers the inside, your chance of passing drops to close to 0.
A lot of defensive manoeuvres down that back straight. It looked like 10th and 11th were getting quite intimate with each other.
Of course, because that corner is the last real opportunity on the track. Because in Sector 2 you sure as hell ain't passing unless the other guy is heavily struggling for grip. So, yeah. Turns 1 and 4 are the only real places where you can pass. Of course, you could pass elsewhere, but the main chances are over there.
Direct in Junsao, and Sakouras has got a queue of cars behind, and the first one to challenge will be Adam Wolf in the Pyramid. See,
Wolf's pulled out the slipstream quite early. Might be too early because he might have to slow down here. No such issue. He's already in front as we cross the line to start lap 3. Who took the fastest lap there? I don't have a clue. But either way, it was Parachki, alright. Looks like we got another overtake. Ferreira's just been passed, as the Oliveira will be trying to make the move next. Jamil Gray is in 13th. He's defending from Fakhrizadeh and Milewski. 7 tenths meanwhile between the leaders. Looks like Ionescu's pace on the first lap, which was pretty bad, isn't so bad anymore, as the Oliveira tries to make a move on Ferreira, but he cannot make it work. The fight between 2 Brazilians will continue at least one more lap.
DJ Pepera lost out quite badly, and that's in that first corner melee. He's now down to last.
Yep, unfortunately for him, so is the case.
Look at that queue of cars in front.
Yeah, not truly, is that you? No, it's
Oh.
Santemoro who's got a loose wheel and he might have to retire here. He's got a pit call, I hope he can make it. But if not, it'll be an early retirement as Sekris is making a move. Careful here, no yellow flags. He's got Dumel, and he's gonna overtake the stricken car of Moro, or maybe not, yes he is. And Dumel is sneaking by as well, no he's not. This is a lot of confusion, but now Moro is slowing down, he's gonna pull over. He got yellow up behind is Jamil Gray who spun around. He's got some damage, what happened to him?
And a wheel gone. I think there's a wheel gone on that Viper Mercedes as well.
Oh, he just ran into the back of Rivki Fakrzain there. Or was he pushed by Milevski?
A bit of both, I think. I think he braked too late and then Milevski hit him afterwards. So you'll see.
Jamil Gray is out of the race, unfortunately for him. As look at this moment there, Volker trying to go around the outside. Gray is out and he's stuck in the middle of the road, unfortunately for him. It is the first retirement of today. As we got a big train of cars into the pits. As Smith is in P9, he's being passed by Ferreira.
So a lot of cars getting damaged from that chain reaction, which caused by Moro's loose wheel. But Moro did make it into the pits. Yeah, just looked like an unfortunate racing incident.
It looks to me like the Penskes are going to stack here. Confirmation that Gray is out.
And that's doubly bad for the second in the queue there. Which one was it? Was it Serpa?
The race was effectively over anyway, unfortunately.
But Serpa was first. I think it was second in the queue. Yeah. Now they only just getting to work. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, nearly getting to work. Just need a cup of tea before placing the front wing.
Valtteri Bottas, is that you?
Nice. And now, ready, set, get to work. There you go. And still yellow.
Mechanic. Look at where he's going out. He's gonna be close to the leaders, James.
I wonder how.
And he's got slightly fresher tires, but it could be an impediment for these guys. Either way, that botched pit stop could provide some drama for this race. We still got yellow flags, but not an overtaking opportunity. Is that Adam Wolf, I think, just doing the fastest lap? As Dumel is up at a P6.
And Florian Volker was making a move on Colin Smith for 9th place as well.
Yep. Gray is still being pushed back. Oh no, I'm getting Perin and Baku flashbacks from the top class.
Oh, Smith.
Yes, and he went all over the world in 80 minutes. All around the world.
It's a candidate for Bandit of the Season right there, was Perinin.
Well, he won a race after that, so he more than made up for it. And Misano.
Perfect turnaround.
Yes, indeed, La Remontada.
So
Or as they would say in Spanish, La Remontada. Milevski is in P11 in the meantime, he's fighting with Smith. Sekuretz is under pressure from Volker, but he can't go for the move here, there are yellow flags in play.
Volker's on the move, he just overtaken Smith on the start of that lap and he's already right behind Sekuretz, so Volker looking quick in this early stage of the race.
Of course, the difference in cars as well. Let's see if Volker can get that move done. Down the inside he goes. Clean as pie. Easy as like. Milevski's made to overtake on Smith meanwhile. Stopp is up to 13th. He's gained 9 places amidst the chaos. And Brickles is up to 14th.
That's not too bad after that first lap. So Brickles taking Armin Alfadil for 14th then. And Kratochville closing up on 3rd place.
A Polish driver led the race last time in Road America. We have another Polish driver leading the race this time. Or I should say rather leading the leaders. Because he's almost lapped down. 9 tenths between the leaders. The top two are keeping close to each other.
Absolutely. So Parachki's not getting away that easily.
No, and he might, if he is faster than Soppa, he might be having to deal with his dirty air soon enough. If not already.
And who's this queue of car contains? So we're on board with Simon Mutka, chasing Colin Smith. That's for 11th place, and just in front is that Sakuras and Milewski for 9th.
It shouldn't take too long to figure out. Smith doesn't have a chance. Mutka is a much faster driver in a much faster car, and he's making his way past him right now.
And just in front as well, Milewski taking Sakuras and Volker taking Ferreira for 7th as well. So that's another place gained for Volker, 1 per lap.
Yep, that's right. Meanwhile, Gray has reached the edge of the track, and he's still being pushed back. Might be going into the wall at this rate. Hold on a second, Q-Pop got overtaken for 3rd.
Q-Pop been passed for 3rd by Kratichville. That must have happened at the beginning of the lap. Let's take a look. Yep.
Yeah, right here, look.
It's a replay.
Kratichville had the inside open, and he went for it. Q-Pop tried to close it, but it was too late. Well, Kratichville was already down his inside, ran quite close to the wall, but he made the move work. Next target for him is the other Andretti of Ionescu.
Yeah, wrenching the wheel as he made the overtake stick. So, and right up to the concrete wall, a la Barrichello in 2010 Hungary.
Yes, indeed, but I don't think the other guy will be. I don't think he'll be calling for a black flag this time.
No, that was much more safe this time.
Yes. Meanwhile, Duhamel is holding up a little bit of a train because he's got an oil leak. His engine has blown, and
That's bad news for Chip Ganassi.
Indeed so. And we've got a side-by-side moment here as Ferreira overtakes Milewski, but Milewski might be trying to come back at him. We've got loads of smoke right in Milewski's face, but he gets his way past. Mutka is into the points, meanwhile, up into P9.
The yellow flags had just been withdrawn as well, so they finally cleared Jamil Gray's car.
They're coming back soon enough, as we might have a free wide moment here. Stop watching closely behind. Look at the plume of smoke there. They're going right in the crowd's faces. I feel bad for them, but we got the move down. Great overtake there, as Brickles up to 13th. Duhamel, unfortunately, his race comes to an early end, but it's not over just yet. Not until the fish jumps. Mutka just got repassed, meanwhile. He's lost 10th, and now he's going to come to a crawl on the second straight. And there's debris. There is debris. Now it's out of the racing line. And he's parked exactly on the curb. The marshals have to be very careful here, because in about 25 or so seconds, the leaders will be coming up.
The brief yellow flags from the apex of the Senna S to the exit of Curva du Sol, but it should be withdrawn.
That was quick work. Meanwhile, Sopa is being caught by Parachki. The race leader and the driver last in the race are about to face each other.
Sopa versus Parachki, and
Wolf has overtaken. Wolf is up to 4th place. He's overtaken Q-Pop as well. Q-Pop is down to 5th. He's struggling for pace as Milewski is making a move for 7th place here. Look, he's going for the move on Ferreira. Gonna get him.
He's got him. That's 7th place for Milewski. I think Brickles just making a move on Smith as well in the background.
Bless you, Yere. As Parachki has caught up to Frederick Sopa. Meanwhile, Brickles is in 12th place, trying to make a move, but he's also going to have to worry about Smith behind. This is an interesting one. It's just like what Ionescu did on the first lap. Brickles made his way through. I guess being in the commentary booth is very beneficial. You learn to do moves like that. Only the commentary booth teaches you that.
Yeah, nearly weaving in between Mutka and Sakuras, but up to 11th goes Brickles, so his race pace doesn't look too bad.
I've commentated many races at Interlagos through the years, but I've never seen something like that, much less seen it twice. 10 laps. Indeed. Meanwhile, Wolf is making a move on Crutchville. Wolf is the fastest car on track, if I'm not mistaken, and he's gonna go for it.
And
fastest lap, and he takes third as well. Yep.
1:11.4, which is quicker than the pole sitter Parachki's time.
Not exactly the most fair comparison of them all, honestly, given the weather.
Not exactly, but yeah, weather had a lot to do with it.
Meanwhile, Brickles up into the points. Ferreira has just been overtaken by Stop, who started in last. After 10 laps, he's in P8.
That's a good fight back from Guillaume Stop in the Peugeot.
Indeed, meanwhile, Sekuras went... The E is silent, it's just Stop.
Stop. Okie dokie.
As Shimon Mutka is going for the move on P11, can he get past? Yes he can, he's overtaken Sekeres.
Butker on the verge of points, as now he goes setting off back after Brickles.
He's got plenty of time, yeah, so there's that. You know, Parachki's getting more and more held up, but he's still pulling away from Ionescu at the moment.
He should lap Sopa by the end of this straight, I think.
Yeah, I think he will. But he's gonna have to go for it. He's not gonna land by easily, I don't think. Crash that. He's landing by.
Not easy, but not difficult. So Sopa just driving his own race as now.
Yeah,
Ionescu
pretty much.
comes up to lap pole.
Hold on, Sopa's coming
Go
back
back,
at him into turn 4. He's doing what Alonso did to Perez in 23, and he's costing Sopa some time here. Sorry, he's costing Parachki some time here.
He's doing what Eddie Irvine did to Ayrton Senna in Suzuka 93.
He tried to do what Ocon did to Verstappen. No, just kidding, no, just kidding.
Nearly. Ocon versus Verstappen.
Let me tell you something that Ocon and Verstappen did do at Brazil, though. They stole the podium together. As we got another big moment here, and towards turn 4. This is some wild racing going on right now.
That was Sakuras and Bapiro, I think it was. Might be wrong on that.
Could be.
Wolf is catching Ionescu. That was a whole second taken out of him in the middle sector.
Are his tires done already? He's struggling for grip a little bit, I think.
And Bapiro getting it a little bit out of shape at Pinarino as he chases after...
Guerrero's into the pits meanwhile. Was that a scheduled stop, or...? Alright, I got it.
There's a scheduled stop for Pereira. And as the first pit window is now open.
Yep. Meanwhile, Wolf continues to get closer to Ionescu. He's cutting the gap down as the Romanian driver will have to deal with some traffic. But Parachki is not pulling away heavily.
And Kupok's staying with the 4th place driver Kratichville, so he's not given up on chances of a podium finish just yet.
I think from the top 5 out of everyone, Wolf's tires are in the best condition right now, and Ionescu's could be in the worst. It's about tire management as well. He's gotta move here. Moro being overtaken there. Yep, Wolf is much closer, but Ionescu will have a little bit of slipstream for the Penske from the lapped Penske in front.
See, was Adam Wolf's run good enough for Extinction Sow? I think Ionescu will be safe for at least another lap.
No, he's definitely not close enough. And Sopa will have to make way sooner or later. Could help him or hurt him. Volker is into the pits meanwhile. He's making his first scheduled stop. Wolf's gained a lot on traction into turn 3. He's gonna go for it down the inside, but Ionescu covers him off. And Wolf is not gonna send it. He's not brave enough to do that, and for good reason. A dive bomb like that into turn 4 usually doesn't work, and he's being judicious about it.
Firmly shutting the door, so I'm going to wait until the next pit and I'm going to try and work out how much the time loss is for a pit stop.
Alright. As Parachki is extending his lead at the front, meanwhile, now he's got clean air, but Ionescu is keeping close, and so is Wolf, of course.
Schwill 4th, Kupok 5th, and with Volker having come into the pits, Dorian Milewski assumes that's 6th place for the moment. He's got...
Ionescu losing 2.5 tenths there in the previous sector. Maybe lack of pace, or maybe traffic, or maybe both, as Wolf is going to go for the move now.
Challenging for 2nd place, and he's
I don't think
alongside...
Ionescu can fight him too hard right now, and he lets him by.
Adam Wolf up to 2nd. Now can he do something about Enis Parachki?
Oh, Ionescu's had a terrible run from turn 2. He's lost almost a second there.
So Volker rejoined in 15th place, and he was some 4 seconds off of the driver in front of him. And
Pit strategy could play a big role here. I wonder if we can check the fuel loads for everybody.
you can see the needle on Adam Wolf's is nearly into the red, so he might be coming into the pits soon.
Yeah, I was thinking of an onboard shot maybe.
Plenty of fuel on board Ionescu though, so he's going to go a few more laps longer compared to Adam Wolf.
Yeah, that's in. So his lack of pace could be from going long. Interesting strategy. Could be a very risky one though. He's putting the podium at risk. Wolf is coming up to lap stop in the meantime. And the Polish driver is not putting up too much of a fight. Yeah, Wolf is already ahead. Next target for him is Asparchkis. Kratochvil and Kupok have come into the pits.
Wolf is coming into the pits on this next lap as well, so pit stop race between Kratochvil and Kupok.
That's right. Let's see how much fuel Kupok will have in his wagon. As the definitely not McLaren mechanics are doing their work. 25 laps of fuel.
Should take to mid-30s, I think.
Yeah, most likely. This is a long stint though. I don't know how
He's
well
got him.
this... He has got him, yes. Kratochvil having to wait there.
That's the advantage of the pit garage.
Yep, indeed. As now Wolf will be coming into the pits this lap. When is Parachki pitting? I haven't seen his indicator. 8 laps of fuel. How about Ionescu? Same as
Also
Parachki.
8.
So Parachki's pace advantage over Ionescu is legit.
Adam
Meanwhile,
Wolf
Wolf...
to make the pit stop.
Yes, indeed. He should emerge in front of the other two, who pitted Kupok and Kratochvil. And I'm going to be right back.
Okie so Adam Wolf into the pits for his first of 2 stops, just as his fuel gauge red light comes on, so obviously due into the pits because he needs a fresh tank. So pulling into the left, and it's the first pit garage because Pyramid won the Teams Championship last season. And 23 laps of fuel going on board, so probably go to lap 34, I think. And a 9.8 second pit stop for Adam Wolf as he trundles down the pit lane at 81 kilometres an hour. That's 50 miles an hour in Imperial. And off goes the speed limiter there. And long pit out as Colin Smith comes into the pits for his first stop. As his team didn't finish high up in the championship last season, his garage is much further down. 27 laps, so going very long in this middle stint is Smith. Let's see what he can do with that. So for the moment, Enis Parachki leads the race from Robert Ionescu. That's thanks to Adam Wolf making his first pit stop. So we are in the middle of the pit stop sequence. So
What have I missed?
we had Colin Smith coming into the pits, and
Alright.
Adam Wolf rejoining 7th. Smith going long in this middle stint.
Alrighty. So I guess the same as Kupok.
Similar to Kupok, a bit longer than that.
Alright, I got it.
And there's Parachki race leader, and he's opened a 3.4 second lead over Robert Ionescu. Guillaume Stopp is now 3rd, but yet to make a pit stop. And we'll find out where Adam Wolf has got to. Malevsky comes into the pits. Wolf is 6th, so...
Wolf is getting a substantial undercut right now, but that could backfire later. Once Parachki and Ionescu will have tire advantage on him. So Wolf needs to make the most of the laps he's got right now. Hoping he's got some clean air to boot as well, as Malevsky's top 10.5 seconds.
Rickles in the pits as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
I'm not sure the strategy from the leaders is right, by the way. It depends on how much they fuel. But it is a little too late.
Rickles didn't take on a lot of fuel, so he's going very short in this middle stint.
Alright, I got it. 3.6, so Parachki gained 2/10 on the last lap there on Ionescu.
Just eking out the lead ever so slightly, not coming into the pits this lap, so probably will be at the end of lap 19 when he pits, I think.
Most likely, yeah.
And same with Ionescu and Stopp, I think, because I don't think either of those will be pitting at the end of this lap. Probably the next or the one after that.
Yeah, I guess so. When is the pit window for the second stops, by the way, Ire? Alright, 30-40. Got it. We're looking at Marcelline in the meantime. She's gaining onto Milevski.
Lee and Mileski teammates on at Carlin.
Lee's
but
coming in this
Lee-
lap, meanwhile. Of course, she's already pitted once for damage early on. That'll be another stop as Rashki's gained he's gained a little bit more on Ionescu in the meantime. Wolf might have to deal with Mutka soon enough. Meanwhile, Mutka could impede him a little bit as Parachki's coming into the pits this lap. What about Ionescu? Same as him, and he still hasn't been able to clear Stoppa. Skill issue, I'm afraid.
So Wolf was 30 seconds behind Parachki as they started this particular lap. So let's see how quick Parachki's stop is, and then that'll give us a good idea of how much the time loss is from making a pit stop to exiting the pit lane.
Yeah, let's see.
It's approaching traffic. That's not going to be good news for Parachki, and that traffic,
Especially not in this part of track. This could cost some time.
This could give Wolf the initiative if the traffic continues to hold up Parachki. He's letting him through.
He's going for the move around the outside. This is quite a slow line here, but he's gone for it. He's lapped that lapped car.
You can see Mutka and De Oliveira making their first pit stops as well.
It's costing a little bit of time to Ionescu, but not so much.
It could have been a lot worse, but veer left into the pit lane entrance.
Yep, he's come in.
First pit stop.
In comes Enes Parachki. And Robert Ionescu will be coming in as well right now.
Behind, you should see Ionescu and Stop making their first pit stops as well.
Yep, that's right. How much is Parachki going to put? Let's see. Or maybe not.
A fullish tank looking at the needle.
So let's see. 22 laps of fuel. So it might be picking around about lap 37 or so. Ionescu is still stuck behind Friedrich Sopa in the meantime. 21 laps of fuel for him. Actually the same-ish, 22. Sopa needs to let him by soon, I think. Wolf is going to jump Ionescu. He's going to stay ahead. But I'm not so sure about the race leader. We're watching Stop right now.
Stops, pit stop. Stop.
Where is Wolf? Where is Wolf? Where is Wolf? He's in front of Sopa, but he hasn't gained much at all.
The pit stop time is about 28 seconds.
Yeah.
Does that look like a 2-ish second lead that Enes Parachki still has as Volker challenges Stop for 6th place?
Stop's just come out of the pits. That defense was critical. Now he's got a little bit of a tire advantage. But of course, Volker has the edge in car performance.
It looks as if there's not too much difference between the undercut and the low fuel, so about evens by the looks of it.
Yeah, for now, but I'm not sure what it'll mean in the last stint. As Smith is having to slow down here.
Smith in 14th place at the moment and looking to challenge Champcar ahead of him. Is that one of the McLarens? It's Papero.
Meanwhile, Ionescu is still unable to lap Sopa. This is not good for his race at all. Wolf has gained on Parachki. He's gained a little bit. 1.6 gap. Wolf is fuel lighter, but Parachki has fresher tires, so it's only a question of whose advantage is more significant. Whose advantage can cancel out the other guy's advantage.
Absolutely, and it did look as if in the first stint anyway, Wolf was the quicker driver, so...
Wolf was fueled quite lighter though in the first stint, back when they had the same tires. So it's not exactly the most representative comparison. They appear to be evenly matched in the middle sector right now, down to the 1,000th, almost.
Parachki a massive 1,000 faster in the middle sector, where the fresher tyres would come into effect.
Hey, 1,000th decided the pole in Canada in real life.
Not even 1,000th could determine the top three in her F97.
Bro. I think Ionescu is getting sick of staring at the lap car's gearbox there.
And struggling to keep up with Soper as well, so Ionescu needs him to get out of the way, needs some clear track.
Well, Sopa is a front-running car normally. It's just that he's ended up at the back of the field.
Yeah, unfortunate for Soper having to queue behind his teammates in that second lap.
Speaking of his
melee.
teammate, he's just overtaken him in Alpha Deal. If Fakusin has done it. Yes.
How far is Fakusin behind Brickles? Brickles in 10th place at the moment.
0.3 between the leaders. Wolf could be gaining a little bit more.
That looked a good first sector for Adam Wolf.
Yes.
BMW power propelling him up the hill in this sector and then down it again in the first sector.
Either way, the overtake will not be as easy as it was before for the other drivers that he passed so far. 1.2 the gap, he's slowly but steadily gaining.
Top speed of 309 kilometers an hour for the BMW powered Pyramid.
And that's with no slipstream pretty much.
I'd be interested to see the top speed of Enis Parachki just to compare.
Ionescu maxed out at 306, though that was in a different part of the track, with a little bit less straight line.
Ferradura, and we've got the Oliveira looking at, is that Papiro or is that...
Here goes Bob Dole down the inside of Ferreira. He's got him.
Ferreira.
Yes, he's got him. He's got him.
And Papiro overtaking Colin Smith as well.
The top three appear to be more closely matched than in the last stint. Parachki is marginally the slowest out of the three of them as of right now. But it's quite close.
What's Parachki's top speed as he goes down the main straight?
Ionescu is quite clearly the outsider in this one. It's between these two for the lead right now. 1 second the gap. Soon enough he would have DRS in an alternative universe.
And Stock pulling away.
Speaking of which, this is the last year of DRS. Next year we'll have Mom. So get ready for that. Madrid GP, no.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Madrid one if I'm honest, but yeah.
I don't like it. I'm gonna be real. I do not like it at all.
Yeah, I can't say I'm the biggest fan of it. I mean, I don't understand why they don't go to Aragon. I mean, I know it's a bit remote, but the Aragon circuit's pretty good. But Smith versus De Oliveira, and De Oliveira taking 14th off of Colin Smith.
Easy pass for De Oliveira there. Quite easy pass. Parachki has increased his pace just a little. He's pulled away half a time from Wolf. So decently done. Decently done.
Parachki approaching some traffic now.
This could be interesting. Could change the tide a little bit, and I think that is Moro, if I'm not mistaken.
Santi Moro recovering from that loose wheel, but unfortunately looking like he's going to be lapped in this race.
Yeah, most likely. Meanwhile, Ionescu is quite far away from P4 and P5, so I think P3 is the worst and the best he can do at the moment. Feels like a shoe-in for the podium. Yeah. Oh, Moro is holding up Parachki heavily. Here comes Wolf. Wolf has caught up.
That's Wolf's opportunity, and Kratichville versus Kupok. That battle still goes on for 4th place.
Parachki's made the move on Moro around the outside. He's lapped him just like he did the previous car she had to lap, which was Sopa. But Wolf is being held up here a little bit. He's gonna get him in the straight line most likely, but he's lost some time as a result of the interference.
There is that battle for 4th between Kupok and Kratichville, going through Mergulo and Junsao, and I think Kratichville looks close enough to have a go.
Yeah, for sure. He's got some good traction, but it's now down a battle of engine performance. Is he gonna go for it early? He cannot. If this is going to be a move, it's going to be a late move, and I don't see a move happening.
Yeah, but Kupok is weaving, is just keeping his line in check, and that might be his downfall because Kratichville closing up through the Senna S and the curve to Sol. This is
Has
his
Wolf
opportunity now.
overtaken the lapped car meanwhile?
Check that in a moment, but we'll have a look at Kratichville taking Kupok for 4th place into
He's got him at turn
Interlagos.
4. Good job for him. The truck driver is up to 4th place in the McLaren.
Fakrazane's taken Brickles for 10th, by the way. Fakrazane up into the points now.
Wolf is ahead of the lapped car meanwhile, and Ionescu has finally caught Sopa once again. And Sopa is catching Moro. Oh, Volker's having a moment. He's gone a little bit wide. Careful there. Keep it on the road. Keep it on the black stuff.
Take a replay of that one and understeer and some tyre smoke, but keeping it on the road.
Yeah. Eight tenths between the leaders. Wolf has never been this close. Ionescu is still keeping the gap modest at 3.7, but he's going to need to make some substantial inroads if he wants to win this. Kupok is having a look at getting Kratichville back in the meantime. Kratichville middle sector was pretty bad after overtaking, and let's see if he can get him now. Look at the difference in engine performance. I think this is the move for Kupok. Yes, it is. Kupok retakes P4. They're trading places.
Good battle between these two. It's been.
Sopa has just
cat and
overtaken
mouse.
Moro. Sorry to disturb you. Sopa has just overtaken Moro. We have to jump to that. Ionescu laps Moro in the meantime. He's going to try to lap Sopa. Sopa is not making it easy at all. Ionescu is having to go around the outside of Ferradura. And losing a bunch of time. He's still around the outside into Laranja. Has he got Sopa? 3.1 is Parachki's... No, that's 3.1 is to Wolf. My bad. But has Ionescu finally cleared Sopa?
I think he must have done. If we check, yeah, there we go. So now he's got some clear traffic.
But he's lost so much time.
Yeah,
I think
lost
gap has
a
increased
lot
by 2
there.
seconds there.
So not enough of a slipstream for Wolf, but their battle's going to carry on for a little bit. It's the 4.7 between Wolf and Ionescu, so that's.
I think he is a little bit fuming. He's lost so much time to the Polish driver. But now he's finally got some clean air. Let's see if he can do anything with it.
Can he make up the 4.7? If these two start battling, then yeah, I think he can still close up. But depends how quickly Wolf
5.3
can
to the
get ahead.
leader, so we will keep an eye on that. Of course, Wolf in the first stint, Wolf and Parachki had the same tires. Wolf had the fuel advantage. Now in this stint, Wolf has the fuel advantage. Parachki has the tire advantage. In the last stint, Parachki will have the tire advantage, and that's that. So that's the dynamics between the two of them. So long story short, Wolf needs to maximize this stint and get past him as soon as possible. Try to build a gap and hold on in the last stint.
Absolutely. So he needs to make this move count pretty quickly. I don't think he's close enough in this straight. And if Parachki decides that he wants to just cover the middle ground a little bit, I think he's
No, not close enough just yet. Ionescu 5.6 behind. He's really lost a lot of time in that interference, but he's just gained half a tenth back in the last sector. So he's trying to claw it back. Here we go. Wolf's first sniff of an opportunity, but a sniff is all that it'll be.
There was Parachki just holding the middle grounds, just warning Adam Wolf, I think, that if you're going to try and overtake, you're going to have to work for it.
Yeah, indeed, but he needs to be careful not to compromise his line, because Wolf is making quite a lot of time on him here in Sector 2. The traction zone and the extortion cell will be critical, could be what decides the battle for this lap. 3-lap difference between the two of them, so Parachki's tire advantage will not be super substantial, but it will exist. Ionescu is 5.1 behind. Parachki is starting to go a little bit slower, compromising his speed perhaps, just for the sake of defending. 4 times the gap, never been this close. Wolf has a real shot at the lead now. Let's see if he's got enough grunt in that engine to make the overtake. He's definitely feeling feisty. He's gonna go for the move soon enough. Is he gonna go for it right now? He's going for it on the move. Can he take the lead right here and now? Yes, quite simple as that. Parachki drops down to second. Is he gonna try to take him back? No, he's not.
Yeah, somewhat passive there from Parachki, but he knows that there's still 20 laps and another pit stop to go, so it's not over
Of
yet.
course, you can still win this on strategy, don't forget.
Guillaume Stop is flying. He's up to 5th place now in that Peugeot.
Having started in last, this is incredible. He's overtaking Kratochville. He might be getting Q-Pox sooner rather than later.
Might also be getting driver of the day if he carries on like this.
Absolutely.
There's Milewski in 8th in the Carlin Chevrolet. And Milewski quite lonely. Got Volker, there he is ahead of him. Just a few seconds ahead, and behind there's Simon Mutka. And
Yes, indeed. I expected more of a defense from Parachki, honestly, but maybe he's just trying to manage his race and get him back with the strategy. He's still within a second. He needs to. He can't afford to let Wolf pull away too much. No fastest lap, but Wood does have a 1 second gap now.
0.072. And
Ionescu is 4.6 behind Parachki. He is definitely gaining.
Gaining on Parachki, but Wolf is...
He's going for the move on Q-Puck right now, meanwhile. Down the back straight, he's got him already. Guillaume Stark from last to 4th.
It's been quite a drive from the Frenchman.
When you said someone might do a Giancarlo Fisichella, well, we have the yellow car right here. Though not in the same sense, of course.
A different sort of yellow. And Q-Pox having to go back into Desquida de Lago, but not quite.
He had to try that one. He had to try, but good on Stop to defend.
Yep, correct to defend there, Stop, because he knows he's got the quicker car at this stage. But Q-Pox a wily little racer. He's played back and forth with Kratochville. Now he's tempted to play cat and mouse with Stop as well.
Yeah, pretty much like Light and L, but racing.
And meanwhile, the second pit stops are now open. Armin Alfadil has come into the pits.
I'm expecting Wolf soon enough also. He's made that move at the right time. But it appears to me the undercut is not so strong today. Parachki and Ionescu, with their longer strategy, didn't lose much time at all compared to Wolf on the previous stop.
The lighter fuel load can fight with new tyres.
Indeed. And this will be last pit stop of the day, coming up soon. How much fuel does Wolf have left?
Be 2 or 3, maybe 4 more laps before he comes into the pits.
Yeah. Parachki 1.4 down, Ionescu 6.2 down.
And as you say, about 3 or so laps longer Enis Parachki is going compared to Adam Wolf.
Those 3 laps are going to be crucial, of course, for his race. As Ferreira is into the pits right now.
Currently in 15th, but he might have been a bit higher up before making the pit stop. Marcy Lee also into the pits, as is Panos Sekuras.
Yes. Is Wolf going to get a pit call soon? Not this lap.
Could be the next one or the one after that, I think.
1.5 second the gap, meanwhile, he is increasing his advantage. Taking a nice little bit of curb there for good measure.
Meanwhile, Ionescu is 4.8 behind Enis Parachki.
About the same as before.
It's pretty even between the top 3 in terms of pace, with Adam Wolf quicker of the 3 so far by a couple of tenths a lap, as Ionescu comes up to some traffic.
Yep. I think it's going to be much closer in the last stint the pace. I think Parachki could be quicker than Wolf then. Let's see if Ionescu will have a hard time with this back marker or not. Sopa did not give him an easy life at all.
Exiting Junsao, and Parachki was a little bit quicker in the middle sector, but that's where the fresher tyres come into play.
No, that was compared to Ionescu. It's just about now. Put the lap on that Marshank.
And just behind there, that would be Frederick Soper.
De Oliveira has pitted in the meantime, as Wolf is not shaking off Barashki so much. As out of the pits goes, I think that's not Guillaume Stop. That's his teammate in the Peugeot.
Bernardo de Oliveira in 14th place at the moment.
Yes. Wolf doesn't appear to be pulling away so much anymore. Barashki is keeping him quite well in his line of sight, as Volker is into the pits for his last stop of the day. I like that he's got the Ferrari mechanics. 8-second stop for the Volker boy.
Stop. Not particularly quick in the middle stint, actually. Once Guillaume Stop got in front of him, he couldn't keep up with the Frenchman in the Peugeot.
Meanwhile, Stop is lapping Ferreira on the outside. He's done that. Mutka is coming in this lap. Meanwhile, Smith is battling with Volker, who's just exited the pits. Mutka is coming in also. Shimon Mutka, the Polish driver. The Road America Dominator is coming in this time.
Doesn't look like he'll win this one this time, but he'll get a couple of points, I think.
Yeah, that's right. As into the pits is coming Mutka. He'll get some good points on his belt, though not as much as he might have wanted. That qualifying really throws a spanner in the works for everyone.
Absolutely. So let's see how quick Mutka's stop is. As we've got some pyramid mechanics out. I think Adam Wolf is coming into the pits this lap.
Volker has already pitted, so it's going to be Wolf for sure.
Now we're going to see the battle for the lead take another chapter as Wolf is about to make his pit stop.
Yes, indeed, and I think Barashki will be the one with an advantage in last stint, as Volker is making an overtake on Smith. He's going back into the points, as Wolf is finally coming in. Barashki tries to seize the advantage and do the best job he can. The undercut has not been strong today, but let's see what Wolf can do. He's going to need the best laps he can, because I think he might be one coming under pressure in later stages of the race. Into the pits goes Wolf. 7.9. Of course, much less fuel put in the wagons this time around, so pit stops are shorter. But that's a good effort. Can he get himself in clean air? That will be the key. And seems a little unlike. No, I think he will be behind all these guys. So he will have clean air, but if he catches up to them. No, never mind. He will not have clean air. He's in a close shave right now here, look. He's down to P6, just behind Kratochville. This is not good for Wolf.
Both are coming into the pits this lap, though, so the traffic will clear pretty quickly. So this is the time for Parachki to push as
Wolf has already caught up to Kratochville, but he's gonna lose some time here. This could be quite crucial in the economy of this race.
Absolutely, and they can see at that point being held up as Stop, I think, was putting a lap on somebody. As
yes, that is
a bit wide for some reason.
Well, he was racing with Ferreira there, who is a lap down. As now Wolf will be trying to get his way past Kratochville. No, he won't.
Now, will the pit entrance actually hold him up a bit?
It might. He's running way too close. He needs to pull out the slipstream now. Now, don't do that. He's had to slow down there. He's had to slow down for two cars coming into the pits, and that's cost him that's cost him a lot of time. That's cost him at least a second.
It's going to play into the hands of Parachki.
Totally. As now Stop comes into the pits for his Guillaume Stop.
Stops. Got a new set of Indies.
Yes, 8.4 second stop. What about Kratochville? 8.1. Hillbox 7.5. So they stay in formation.
Q-Pox Mechanics in the Andretti Autosport, doing him good once again.
Yes, very good job.
There's another 1 or 2 laps before both Ionescu and Patchke come into the pits, as Wolf still in the midst of traffic. That's passing one of the Meyer Shanks.
Yeah.
Now he can do something.
Indeed, some clean air for Patchke here is going to help him out quite a lot. He's got 1 or 2 more laps before he comes in. Not including this lap. There is quite a late stop. 5.5 between himself and Ionescu in the meantime. Ionescu lost quite a lot of time dealing with Sopa earlier. Lost 2 seconds just passing him. And he also swelled up a little bit more, but Ionescu is just a little touch slower than Patchke today, I think it's fair to say. Ionescu is coming in now.
So Ionescu making the first out of the top 2 to make the pit stop.
Indeed.
They're running at the moment.
Doesn't have any chance to get out in front of Wolf. And is Milevski pitting soon? Milevski is in 4th place. Sure, it's only provisional, but cracking job either way. He has to pit, of course. Either way, Ionescu is coming in now.
Absolutely, and just looked at the gap between Patchke and Wolf. It was just over 26 seconds.
Maybe the undercut could be stronger today.
Could be stronger in the final stint of the race, but yeah, Wolf
The lap car
gonna be
ahead
very
is also
close.
pitting. That's Rivki Fakruzane. As in comes Ionescu as well. They need to give him a good stop, of course.
They're taking a while putting those tyres on. The
Fakruzane has to wait here, so Ionescu laps him in the pit lane. That was not a good stop at all. Not a good stop at all.
Took an age to,
Meanwhile, Wolf has cleared Moro. Wolf has cleared Moro, and Milevski is also coming to the pits. Speaking of which, Patchke is coming in at the end of this lap.
Crucial pit stop, as Milevski has also made his pit stop. And
if the undercut was stronger indeed, that means Wolf should be ahead.
He should, but Patchke will have the freshest of fresh tyres, and will no doubt be giving Wolf a hard time.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed. I'm curious to see what the gap is between Wolf and Ionescu right now. It was about 6 seconds or so before Wolf pitted. 5 or 6, as Patchke is now in. More 6, I think. Into pits comes in is Patchke. He was the one being hunted for the entirety of the race until he got past. Now, he'll be hoping he can become the hunter, as the Ferrari man comes in.
Absolutely into the box with the Benetton mechanics.
Yes, that's right, yes, yes.
At least it matches his teammate, more or less, with the blue Ferrari.
6.9 second stop, nice. I think he will be behind Wolf. He's going to go a little bit slower here. It's going to be it is close, but Wolf is in front. You can see he's already ahead. But by how much? By how much, Chris Camera?
Not a lot at all.
Much closer than I thought. Wolf thankfully escapes in front, but he's got Enis Patchke with fresh tires chasing him down now.
Yeah, so the traffic certainly didn't help Wolf, but at least he's maintained track position, so he has to put on the blockers now.
Wolf did not have Wolf had a fuel advantage in the first 10-second stints, and he made great work with that. Now he's the one at disadvantage. It's him against Patchke's free lap fresher tires. Patchke, of course, is on the same fuel load as him. They're both going to the end. It's going to be a flat-out scrap for the win. And which one of them is going to take it?
Only 10 more laps to go to find out. And
extends the gap.
Extends the gap. Let's have a look at the bottom. Apparently, Rivki Fakruzane has made 4 pit stops.
Crikey. As Ionescu is being held up here by Ferreira, I think that is, lapping him. He's lost some time. He is not happy at all with the back markers today. I can say that much.
Yeah, is that the bad draw of the back markers in this race, is Ionescu? But he runs a pretty comfortable 3rd place at the moment.
Yeah.
Smith, by the way, making his final pit stop, rejoining 14th, and Sante Moro making his final pit stop as well.
Yeah, Ionescu has lost even more time the back markers there, honestly. And speaking of which, looks like Wolf is going to be hitting traffic very, very soon.
Yeah, Yeah, this is Parachki's time to stay behind. Which one is that? Is that Marcy Lee?
It's either her or Milevsky, but I think it's Lee. No, it's Lee because Milevsky is much further up the road. Yeah, look, Milevsky is in 7th.
Lee, the one with the green stripe. Milevsky has the yellow stripe.
7th into a second, just under. Fight is on, baby, fight is on. Let's see which one of them is gonna take it. Nescomino in P3, I don't think he has the facilities to chase after these guys, big man.
But it'll be his first podium of the season if he stays there, and that will no doubt be a positive result for Ionescu.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, Fakruzane is racing with his teammate Sopa. They're together at the pit stop. They're together once again.
Nearly a swerve there, but Sopa losing out to Fakruzane.
Yes, that's right. 8 tenths between the leaders. And they've both lapped... No, never mind. They're lapping Lee now. Wolf laps Lee, she costs him some time. And Parachki is not lapping Lee just yet.
Might be around the outside into Bico de Pato when the lapping happens.
Around the outside. He's done it already a few times today, but that's gonna cost him time. Thankfully not too much, but you can see Wolf pull away just a little bit more. Could that be the lucky brave squirrel if needed? I'm not sure because Parachki will go full guns blazing for that win. Patrick Ferreira meanwhile is in 16th.
Wolf opened up 3 tenths to that middle sector. Opens up a little bit more in the final sector.
Well, we did have that traffic there, but yeah, in the middle sector.
Bit of traffic, and the BMW might just be a fractionally more powerful engine than the Ferrari in the back of Parachki.
Either way, I think Parachki is gonna chase him back up.
"20 cars still running, so the attrition rate has been a lot lower compared to Road America. Only the 2
Most of the chaos was localized in one specific point of the race, and that was it, pretty much.
Pretty much, yes. That was going into John Sao when Jamil Gray was dominoed up the back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see the gap between them in the... It went down a little bit between Parachki and Wolf, only by a tenth, so Parachki does have the grip advantage, but not by much. Stop putting a lap on Sakuras. Stop in 4th place and definite candidate for driver of the day if he stays there.
Totally, he started last and he was 1 position away from the podium. What an absolutely incredible drive in a car that is not so fantastic. But that drive was.
Absolutely.
1.1 between the leaders. Parachki is definitely still in this. Could he be biding his time for Wolf Stars to get worse?
There's more traffic approaching, and
this stint, of course, is quite. This is not the shortest, but this is quite a short stint. So either way, the tire will not be that tremendous. Either way, Parachki needs to increase his pace just a little bit more if he wants to make sure he can catch up and have an opportunity to pass.
Absolutely, and just looking a bit further down, there may be a battle for 10th coming up soon. Brickles is only 2.2 seconds ahead of De Oliveira last time I checked, as Bipero looks to make a move on a Maya Shank.
He's got him. He's got him. Alpha Dale drops down a place. Now let's see what good old Bob Dole can do. He's catching up, slowly but surely.
Bob Dole versus Coneman for 10th place.
My favorite presidential candidate against literal rich energy.
Against a traffic cone.
Meanwhile, Wolf's got some more traffic here. Keeping a close eye out on this. Is that... Yeah, this is Colin Smith. And he's not making it easy for Wolf, but he gets past the same place where he passed the previous lap car. Down the inside of Ferradura, which helps him out with time quite a bit. Now then, where will Parachki go for the move? On the front straight, or will he go for his favorite lapping spot? He's not going for it right now. This might be for the better. And I think there's more lapped cars there are 2 more lapped cars further up the road. This fight is back on the menu, folks.
Soper, I think, took 17th place off of Ferreira just a few moments ago. And let's see the top speed of that Ferrari engine in the back of Parachki.
305. 5 laps to go. The fight for the win is back on the menu, ladies and gentlemen.
5 laps remaining now. 1 to go. And then there's more traffic. It looks like that I'm an Alpha Dill. And then another car in front. I need to memorise these cars a bit better.
Don't worry about it. In your defense and mine, it's been quite a long time since the last race.
Just the 5 months or so.
Yes. Meanwhile, Parachki definitely pushing, but traditionally the middle sector has not been his best point so far in this race today. Let's see if we can rectify that.
It's a bit closer there. Let's see what the time gap is as they cross the second sector point. We're looking at Parachki versus Ionescu. That's stabilising at about 7 seconds or so. 8/10, I just caught a glimpse of that.
Wolf is catching the next lap car soon enough. I suspect he'll lap him by the end of the next lap at most. 9/10 the gap, 4 laps to go. Dill could go either way here.
The BMW engine definitely got a bit more power than the Ferrari. The gap extended by 0.06 of a second.
Yeah, I guess so. But this is not over just yet. Not by a long shot.
You can see the position changes on the left-hand side. Wolf up 7, so that's a pretty good drive from himself.
He's going for the move meanwhile. He's lapped Tsekras there. As Wolf is being majorly held up now. Wolf is being majorly held up by Alphadale here. This could be very, very important. Is he gonna put a lap around the outside? This is what Parachki did many a time, and now he's done it. And look at Parachki gaining. Look at Parachki gaining. But now he's the one who has to deal with the lapped car.
We'll get him at the exit of Junsao, and 3/10 was the gain.
He's got to cross him. He's got to cross him, and Parachki's had to slow down yet again. This is exactly what happened to Ionescu about 5 or so laps ago, and this might have just put Parachki out of the fight. It was once again the Meyershank doing that. The Meyershanks have been naughty today as back markers.
Yeah,
that was dangerous. That was dangerous driving.
Yeah, not the best place to lift off.
Yeah, that could have ended Parachki's race. Oh my goodness, both of the Balkan drivers are so unlucky with traffic today. But this might have handed things over to Adam Wolf.
I think so. 3 laps to go, and Wolf does have that power advantage. And
there is still 1 more car yet to lap, though.
We have a battle for 8th place between Volker and Mutka.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, Ionescu is putting a lap on Marcy Lee. He's got the overtake done. He was hoping he could fight for the win, but unfortunately just didn't have the pace and have to settle for 3rd. Which he'll be happy with either way, I'm sure. Given that he is me. But anyway, the gap has increased, but not super substantially. It's 1.6. If the next lap car hurts Wolf, Parachki could yet come back in this.
And I'm just looking at that battle for 8th. 4/10 is the gap between Volker and Mutka. And the battle for 10th
has put a lap on Ferreira there. 1.6 still. Wolf is not giving an inch. He's coming up to the back marker soon. Could this be what brings Parachki back into contention? Only 2 laps to go. He needs to hope for a little bit of luck here. Otherwise Adam Wolf is going to steal the win.
We're hoping that the driver in front of Wolf does the chop going through subida dust boxes. It might happen.
You never know.
I was looking at that battle for 10th between Brickles and De Oliveira, and Brickles 10.6 behind Mutka, but that's not the important one for the final point. How far back is De Oliveira? It's 1.8, so
I think Brickles is going to
might
hold
be
on.
safe. He might be safe for that point, which from 20th on the grid is not that bad.
Yeah, totally. Meanwhile, Wolf has caught up to TJ Papiro at one of the worst possible spots.
Yeah,
Did this bring Prachki back into contention? No,
Unless
because he's
the
lapping him
Zhao.
right here in Zhao. He's done it. That's the move that just delivered him the race win. He could not afford to lose any more time with that, and he's done a brilliant job. He's done a brilliant job. The man finished second.
Unless the back marker has to go back. Sensibly backing out of that one now.
Yes, indeed. He's lost some time. Here's Prachki, but not enough for Prachki. Hold on, though. Papiro's coming back at him. TJ Papiro, the back marker, is coming back at Adam Wolf. But he backs out of it.
Sensible stuff from Papiro. So now it looks as if Adam Wolf is pretty much safe, home and dry.
Thinking about it, that very close exit at the pit stop really saved Wolf's bacon there.
Yeah, definitely.
He came out just in front, and that's De Oliveira retiring with suspension failure. The championship leader wasn't due for points anyway, is out of the race on the last lap of proceedings. But either way, Adam Wolf, he's been on the podium once this season with third place at Coda. Now he's gonna do it all again. He's gonna win this race, and he's gonna win it in style. And why am I speaking with an American accent? We're in Brazil here. And Adam Wolf has done a fantastic job. Started P8, moved 7 places up, overtook quite easily a lot of people, and as a result, takes the win here in Brazil. Adam Wolf is the winner today, after just 1 hour of racing. Prachki takes second. Ionescu will take his first podium of the season in third. He'll be very happy with that. Marceli will take 14th, I'm afraid. Fakruzane 15th. Zappa 16th.
Guillaume Stock coming home in 4th place. Definite candidate for driver of the day alongside Adam Wolf.
Fantastic job. Kyopak will take P5. That is all he could master today, I'm afraid. Kratoshvili P6. Tsekoras P18. And Milevsky with a brilliant drive to take P7. His best finishes so far in his career, I think. Volker P8 only. Mutka P9. Moro P19. And James Brickles will take 1 point today. I think he will be happy with that effort. James just said it. What perfect coincidence. Either way, Adam Wolf is today's winner, and that was a fun race. Welcome back, World Champcar. And that was quite a nice welcome. Here we have the race results. And the podium is Adam Wolf with the victory, and his Prachki is finishing second once again. He finished second. In USA also. Also to a pyramid car. Ionescu finishes third. He finished fourth in USA. Now he stepped up to third. Guillaume Stopp P4. Fantastic drive. Then is David Kyopak fifth. Kratoshvili P6, followed by Milevsky. Great drive. Then Volker P8. Mutka P9. Brickles, the last on lead lap, at P10. And TJ Papiro in 11th. The rest are?
Simon Alfadil 12th, ahead of Colin Smith 13th. Darcy Lee 14th, ahead of the two Penskes of Rifki Fakruzane 15th and Friedrich Soper 16th. Patrick Ferreira 17th, and we've got Panos Sakouras, Asante Moro, and still classified, even though he wasn't running, Bernardo de Oliveira 20th, and the two retirements officially, Rafael Dumel in the Chip Ganassi and Jamil Gray in the Viper.
Yes, indeed, that was a fun race, and Wolf has the fastest lap confirmation there. It was quite close, though the top 3 on the road were quite clear of everyone else, not including the drivers who ended up a lap down. And that was an interesting session. An interesting quali, very chaotic, and a very interesting race as well. Well, no anthems, I guess, right? Alright, no anthems. Well, that was it for today's race. Driver of the day, Guillaume Stopp, obviously, is not even a debate. Has to be him. The Wolf did a great job as well. But what do you think, James?
Yeah, it's definitely between those two, Wolf and Stopp. But yeah, from 22nd to 4th, I think it goes to Guillaume Stopp.
Yeah. Well, that was definitely a fun one. We'll see you next time, guys. over at Silverstone. When we see you, I have no idea, but we make sure we will see you, and it's gonna be one hell of a ride. Until then, that's been it from myself, from Yeti, and from James. And until next time, please take care of yourselves, guys. Take care of each other, and enjoy the brand new year.
See you
Bye
soon.
bye.